Hello everybody, Frankie Day here for Frankie Day Models. Okay fellas, for this evening I have for you video number 2 for my air transport group build. I've got my flying boxcar completely all covered and mostly decaled up, and I should have the final reveal for it probably by this Sunday. And I got a treat for you this Sunday evening. And I have another entry of my group build with another aircraft too. I'd be able to show you that I'll be building also along with the group. Okay, first before we get started here, I'd like to thank all my new subscribers who subscribe to my channel. I'm very grateful for each and one of you out there, everybody. It means a lot to this old man, it really does. And I'm very grateful. I have a great host of friends and a lot of great people out there, which are my family now. And amongst this group build I've got going, I have 3 people that joined in already. A new subscriber, Doug Hensley of Hensley Models. Thank you very much, Sir Doug, for subscribing to my channel, sir. I'm very grateful to you. Thank you very much for joining in and subscribing to me. And take your time. As time limit, fellas, there isn't any, because you guys want to venture on other builds and get involved in other group builds, and you still got time to do my group build and other group builds. So like I say, guys, it's just like another group build going down, and there's no time limit to it, and you can enter as many aircraft as you want to, and just have a ball. Okay, my second entry who joined in is Mr. Al Woods from the United Kingdom. God bless you, dear sir. Thank you very much for joining in my group build. Incidentally, Mr. Hensley, Doug's Hensley Models, he's building a C130 Herky Bird, and it'll be 1/72nd scale, I believe. I think it's either an Earthful kit or an SC kit, or maybe an ITALERI or testers. I don't know, but I'm pretty familiar with the kit before, because like I built the testers one before, and it's a very good kit. It's old, but it's a good kit. Thank you very much, Doug. Thank you, sir. And thank you, Mr. Al Woods. Mr. Al Woods is entering, I don't know. It's going to be a transport. It's going to be an English aircraft. And it'll be very fascinating to see what he has to offer and to build. And it'll probably inspire Frankie Day here to build something just like what Mr. Al Woods will be doing. And so that's going on right now. I'll soon get more information what he'll be doing. He'll be probably making a video, making his entry for the group build. Thank you again, Mr. Woods. Thank you, Sir Al Woods. Thank you, dear sir. Okay, lastly we have Mr. Matthew Hill. And thank you very much, Matt. I'm very grateful to you, dear sir. You've been very kind to old Frankie Day. And thank you very much for joining in, and I'm very grateful to you. Mr. Matt Hill is entering a 1/72nd scale Heller kit of the Rattles. It looks like a flying boxcar. Pretty similar. And I call it the French flying boxcar. That's also a 1/72nd scale. And so far that's all I have who's joined in my group build. And to all 3 of you thus far, thank you very much. Very grateful to you all. Excuse me, guys. I'm very grateful. And thank you, dear sir. Okay. I've got the C119. It's all done. All it needs is the remainder of the decals, which are wing walks and stencils. And I got the frame and the canopy. and assemble same to the airplane itself. And it should be pretty much done. And lastly, I had to put the antennae on there also. And so I got to drill some holes there to be able to glue on my aerials and such. Well, I just might not just leave them off, I don't know. I don't think they had too much on there, but they probably had a UDF antenna on there. And that's probably all they had, I don't know, but it'll be on there. And that's about it. And she's all done. I can start on my C-46 Commando. And I'll have a video of that coming probably by tomorrow. And I'll be showing you some more stuff tomorrow along with the Commando I'll be doing. Along with my update on video 2 of my flying boxcar, I have its predecessor, the granddaddy of the injection molded C119 flying boxcars. I have an old 1958 C119 boxcar that I built many years ago. I have it right behind me, and I will post it right here next to the future, the ITALERI 1/72 scale C119G flying boxcar circa 1955. Okay, we're going to resume right over here and take a look at the flying boxcar, and we're going to take a look at this shiny girl right here. All you need is a mirror to look yourself into, and this is it. Okay, fellas, here she is. I got on top of my Lady Susan here. I haven't had a canopy on there yet. That's the last thing I'm putting on. I've got oodles of wing walks right here. They all got to be on here. I'll be working on them this evening. And by tomorrow I should have them all done, and I can have the final reveal by probably by Sunday. Excuse me. Then the C-46 will follow after this. Okay, it's all been finished using that shiny metal tape, guys. I've been using that stuff for years. It works. I used to do heat and air conditioning many years ago. I did that for about 14 years, and I got out of it because I don't like the responsibility of going to people's homes and if something goes wrong. I don't want to. I more or less work for the company as an installer. I did a lot of sheet metal work, and so that sheet metal work kind of helped me do a lot of stuff on this boxcar. So I know how to make transitions and everything using by using the rule of thumb of metal work. But on the tape work on the model, you got to follow the panel lines. Once you burnish out the tape on here, you'll see the panel lines pop up. You take your knife, a score, nice sharp number 11 blade, and you score right along that line where the panel's at, and you cut and you pull up the surface tape. Then you take your next piece of metal tape, and adhere it adjacent to that where you cut off a while ago, and follow suit till it's all done, as you see right here. Now, I always liked the flying boxcar. The flying boxcar was probably one of the first heavy transport aircraft ever used. The ones we had mostly were heavy transports, with those Curtiss C-46 Commando, and it was a heavy-duty cargo aircraft that they used, and it could supersede the weight and the capacity of that of the C-47 or DC-3. This came out in 1949. The C-82 packet plane was a predecessor, but they had a lot of problems with the packet plane. Undercarriage problems, and they had problems with the power plant. The airplane was very underpowered and would stall after takeoff and cause crash and destroying airplane and killing all crew members. They were very dangerous airplanes, and they upgraded the power plant to give it more power, and they still use that design as a C-82 packet. And this is all going on during 1949 to 1950. Then the last C-82 packet, what they used, had a detachable fuselage. It looked like a Sikorsky H-54 flying crane. It had the fuselage was almost like that of a modern day container that goes off a truck, which slides off the truck and it's picked up by a crane. Well, the fuselage of the C-82 packet can be actually unattached from a top portion of the fuselage and pulled out and uploaded and everything, and they slap another shell on the bottom of the fuselage, and they found that very impractical, so they better redesign the aircraft into the C119 Boxcar, like you just see right here. This is about how she looked like back in 1955. They were a big airplane for their day. Each engine's probably rated 2,800 horsepower. So they had a lot of guts to get this thing off the ground because it had to carry a lot of equipment. I seen these things loaded up one time at Boeing Field in Virginia. I seen them load up trucks, buses, D9 diesel bulldozers, and small artillery like howitzers and such. And they carry a lot of troops too. So the heyday for the C-119 flying boxcar is deployment of all troops. They found out during the Korean War that these things can carry a lot of troops. So they use those troops more or less. These things were more or less revived to the troop squadron. And they also carried supplies and cargo and such. And that's what these things were designed for. I believe they were used all the way up to probably the mid-1960s. And I know they used them in Vietnam as stingers. I've seen a lot of them in Vietnam. They made gunships out of them. These are pretty good aircraft. These can carry a lot of equipment. And they're very heavy duty. And they're very noisy. I can remember being in the military when my father was stationed in Washington, D.C. We lived right over there next to Boeing Field. It was an Air Force field. We were living in Air Force housing at the time before we got deployed to the Philippine Islands, because we were military dependents when we were young kids growing up. And I was very, 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 very fortunate that I lived with a traveling family. We traveled a lot. And of course, a lot of you fellows out there, all my viewers out there who watch my videos know that, in fact, you too are probably involved as being part of a military family when your father was stationed somewhere and he summons for his family. So that's how it was with me. Now we're summons to go to the Philippines. But we were stationed over there in Air Force housing. We used to watch these things fly over our house on the runway. These things used to shake the house really when they used to fly over. And I kid you not, you know, my mother, she had a lot of knickknacks on the walls, and the vibration from the Pratt Whitney engines these things had when they flew over, when they landed over the house, the house would shake, you know, and the knickknacks come off the wall. I said, Mom, I know it aggravates you that my airplane's flying over. You know we're flying in the Nixon Air Base here, and it's only a bit noisy out here, and I suggest you just go ahead and don't even put them on the wall no more. Just keep them on safe ground where they won't get knocked over. So she, I guess, got herself a little small table where she displayed her treasures she enjoyed the most. And that kind of stopped that problem, but didn't stop the noisiness. So these things are very loud. A lot of pilots that have flown these things were very skittish if something should ever happen with an engine going out on them. And these things were not very, the boxcar was not designed for a good out of a glide ratio in case the engine was gone. If they lost an engine in this thing, you lose you'd lose a lot of airspeed, and you can almost go into a stall, and especially if you're carrying a lot of cargo, because you're losing you lose a lot of power. Just the design of the aircraft, a twin boom fuselage. So other than that, these things were very dependable airplanes, and they're heavy duty, and they get the job done real well. And even after the Korean War, the Air Force still used them. They used them more or less as for troop commands, and also used them for cargo aircraft. They used a lot of that Magruder Sound out there by Alaska, and out the Antarctic regions. They flew them out there. They used them to carry equipment for tents and supplies and food and troops and radio gear and D9 diesel bulldozers, cats, everything. The Globemaster did the same thing, the C124, which is a more bigger airplane than the Boxcar is, miles bigger. But these were the beginning of the cargo planes at the time, and the Globemaster came out probably about the same time this thing came out. Actually, the C-74 Globemaster 1 came out before the Boxcar did. So that's much I got on. I got all the foil done on this thing. The foil tape I put on there. It's all done. And what I really like about back here is the ramp back here I have. I like that little loading ramp I have. You can load up all kinds of stuff back here and everything. And it looks pretty well detailed, guys. I wish I had a small little school bus or something I can go in there, but anyway, that's that. So that's how much I got done in this thing. Of course, you can see this thing really glistens. This thing looks like it looks like the real thing with that metal on there. I mean, it don't get any sweeter than that, guys. Using metal tape. I mean, it's. I heard through one of the commenters that testers are right now they're discontinuing all their metallizers, and that's all that's left as alkads. And I said, well, heck with that. I says, I'll just use my tape. And all panel lines, guys, can be duplicated by making more panels on to get more 3D too effect on these things too. But the 3D effect comes on this thing automatically, as you can tell on the tail booms back there. You look at that tail boom back over here, this area here. You can see the different shades of it. I didn't do nothing to it. That's how light hits it. It's all optical delusion right there. That's how, when light hits it, you can see the different shades of the panels on there. That's what polished aluminum does. It gives you the illusion of all the paneling on there, as you can see. So that's just a tip, fellas, for you. So don't be bashful about and be afraid to using tape. Just follow the panel lines. Once you burnish that tape on there like that, you'll see your panel lines pop up to that tape. You take your knife and you cut through the panel lines, and you put another one on there. That will give you more authenticity of the panels, how it's laid down. The same result as real aircraft. And really, that tape on here really makes this thing amazingly strong. I mean, it's really amazingly strong. And it's so cold, too, when you pick it up, it's cold. It feels like you're picking up steel. So, that's as far as I got on this. So, the final reveal will be posted Sunday. Tomorrow's Saturday. I got to work tomorrow. And so I'll be getting hot on the wing walks tonight, the decals. And so Sunday I'll be the final reveal for this. Then I have the video of the C-46 following after that. Then I got some other stuff. Oh yes, before I close off here, I forgot about that. About my, I forgot about the, my old Boxcar. I want to show you that one, guys. Truly sorry. I got busy talking and rambling here, and this is old, guys. It's old like old Frankie Day is. Right there. This is the old Aurora kit. This is the only one in the world at the time. And I can remember that the kit